What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. What's happening? I'm here with Gabby Agbonlahor. He's come to I don't know what he's come to do, to be honest. I hope he's come in peace. I hope he wants to talk football and not wind up any other fan bases or anything like that.
I'm here in peace. Here in peace, man.
Exactly. Get the Christmas spirit, man. Listen, guys, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, anytime. Looking forward to, you know, giving a realistic view on Manchester United this season.
Yeah, I think I think you're gonna have a lot to say. I think you're gonna have a lot to say, as you always do. And you're never shy of giving your opinion, which is why I definitely wanted you to come on. Get your questions into Gabby as well in the comments. Let's start with my team. We're gonna talk your boys. We're gonna talk Gerrard and Villa, and we'll talk Man City. We'll talk Chelsea, West Ham. We'll talk about a lot of stuff. But obviously, Ralph Rangnick's first game, Man United, a win. Obviously, I was there yesterday. First half an hour, I was impressed. I thought we looked organised. I thought we looked like we had a clue on what we wanted to do, how we wanted to play. You've played under different managers. When a new manager comes in, a 45-minute training session he's not going to be able to work miracles. But it looked like I could see a direction finally. What did you make of our performance yesterday, and just Ralph Rangnick maybe trying to steady the ship and take us forward to the next phase?
First of all, Crystal Palace, a tough team to play, home or away. They beat Manchester City this season.
Mm,
A very organised side, quick on the counter attack. So to get a clean sheet against them and to win the game is a fantastic result for anyone in the Premier League. But like he says, they look like a plan. You look like you had more men on the field than Crystal Palace, which is the first time anyone said that this season for Manchester United. So even though he's only had a little bit of time with the players, he would have got his ideas across to them. And I think you Manchester United fans want to see that, a style of play. You started to see that, didn't you? How Manchester United going to set up. But like you says, a new manager comes in. It's good for everyone. It's a fresh start for everyone. Sancho, he was in and out of the game. He got brought off. He gave Greenwood a chance to try and impress. So a lot of players now are going to be given a fresh start.
yeah, definitely. That's what I saw. A fresh start. Blanket response for everyone. A chance to impress the new manager. And Ralph Rangnick spoke so much about like the games have been frantic. Like he's watched Man United, and it's like a basketball game. You know what I mean? It's just so open. Even against Arsenal, yeah, we got the win, but it was the same sort of theme, bit end to end, no control over the games. He spoke about balance. Did you see that? Did you see that from Man United straight away from what he was trying to implement with like that 4-2-2 formation, trying to get that balance and control in the game?
Yeah, 100%. But this is the Premier League. It's easier said than done. There's some really good teams. You look at, apart from Manchester City, you look at every other team and they're conceding chances. You look at Chelsea against West Ham, conceding chances. We're probably the best defense in the Premier League. So, as much as he doesn't want to be conceding goals in a basketball match, sometimes when you're on the field, you want to make that run forward when maybe you shouldn't as a midfielder, as a fullback you should stay back, but you can't help yourself and run forward. So he's got to try and organise these players to be a bit more organised. And that's what you've seen in that first game in charge. I'm sure you'll see going forward, attack with the right numbers and make sure you defend with the right numbers so you're not getting counter-attacked by the better sides.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, someone said there, Eugene, in the comments says, do you think Wan-Bissaka and Shaw are behind the other two in Tellez and Dallo? A lot of fans were saying to me, Gabs, as I was speaking to the
Yeah.
fans after the game, getting their opinions and stuff. A lot of people saying I'm worried for Wan-Bissaka because Dallo is proving, an attacking fullback, how important it is. Luke Shaw's obviously been out. What do you reckon?
I think, listen, I love Wan-Bissaka as a defender. I feel that back in my day, and it's not that long ago, of course, 10 years ago, the right backs that I played with, it wasn't about going forward. It wasn't about getting crosses in. It was about defending, and then giving the balls to the likes of Downey, Milner, Ashley Young, and then let them go and get the crosses in. But the game's changed now. You can't just be good at defending. You've got to be good at crossing. You've got to be good at attacking. Can you find the right passes? And Wan-Bissaka hasn't got that. You can't teach that into someone. He hasn't got the technique to make them passes, to make them crosses. And it depends what this manager wants. Does he want a defender who's not going to get beaten 1v1, or does he want a defender who's okay defending like Dallo, but a lot better going forward? I feel like Wan-Bissaka is not a new era fullback, and that might cost him in the long run because Trent Arnold, Kyle Walker, Reece James, all these in the top three are new school fullbacks, can attack and can defend.
It shows how the game's gone, innit? Like
Mhm.
you have to have fullbacks who, like, people laugh at me because I'd say it on the channel, but just can control the ball properly,
Yeah,
make clean, like kick the ball properly, connect with the ball, like make clean contact with the ball. I know it sounds like, well, obviously he can flex, he's a professional. No, like when you watch certain players, you know, you're a football man, obviously. The way the foot connects with the ball, like, is it clean? Can you receive the ball when you're running onto it? Can you receive the ball on the back foot, on your weaker foot? Can, you know, Dallo played a pass to Rashford against Arsenal, like a reverse left foot ball.
yeah.
Looked really easy. Wan-Bissaka don't play that in a million years.
Listen,
Do you know what I mean?
it happened at Villa when I was there on the Team Sherwood. We had Alan Hutton, great defender, going
Yeah,
forward,
solid.
very strong, but his quality wasn't crossing. His quality wasn't his final ball. But Leonardo Bacuna was better going forward, so better crossing for Benteke. So Team Sherwood played Bacuna more than Alan
Yeah,
Hutton.
Bacuna. I
You know,
remember Bacuna. Yeah, yeah.
it's depends on what managers want. But we talk about Walker, we talk about Cancelo, Reece James, Trent Arnold. These guys are chipping in with goals, especially Trent Arnold and James, and they can be the difference in winning.
Chilwell as well.
Yeah, that could be the difference in winning games. You know, Luke Shaw's fine. Come on, Luke Shaw was outstanding in the Euros. Maybe he just needed a little bit of a rest. Luke Shaw will be back to his best. No worries on Luke Shaw, but Wan-Bissaka, even Ronaldo would probably go in to the manager and complain about Wan-Bissaka. I think Ronaldo's
Yeah.
got it in him to say that whenever he gets the ball, he's not putting the crosses in where I want them, and he's costing me goals and chances. So I'm sure there's a lot of competition in that place between Dallo and Wan-Bissaka.
That's a good point, you know, you make there. Like you talk about the top players who have been used to, you know, someone like someone like Ronaldo has played with some top
Yeah,
right backs across his career and knows what a proper one looks like, and top left backs, Marcelo all that time.
yeah.
You know, and I just feel like Wan-Bissaka, I like him. I
Would he
really
be
want him
better
to
as
do
a
well.
centre back, Wan-Bissaka? Would he
Say
be
that
better?
again?
Would he be better as a centre back?
Nah,
Good in the
nah,
air, quick, can
nah,
tackle.
nah. I don't know if he reads the game well enough. For how good Wan-Bissaka is defensively, yeah. I think he's only actually good in one-on-one situations,
What's
i.e.,
that slide?
I'm. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that, that's already alarm bells if you have to be sliding around the place. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. I'm there for it when it's the last ditch tackle, recovery run. But in one-on-one situations, i.e., you're a winger or you're a forward, you got the ball at your feet. I'm going to try and take it past you, Aaron. He says, no, you're not. Like that, I get that.
yeah.
But even positionally, defensively, like when the ball's over the other side, on the left-hand side of the field, sometimes he's guilty of tucking in way too much, being almost touch tight to the other centre
Right.
back, whether it be Linda. The ball goes over his head. You know, we can see a lot of chances of that. So look, there's stuff that he can learn, but I agree with you. Like, I'm not sure he can learn kind of those fundamentals that are just, how do you teach him to have a good touch? How do you teach? I
Yeah.
just don't,
The
I can't see
crossing,
it.
the crossing and stuff
The
you can
crossing,
practice, but you either have that or you don't. You can get a bit better, but the level that you have to be at crossing for Manchester United, I can't see Wan-Bissaka getting to that level, which is a shame because
yeah.
you know he's good
It's
in
not
the
his fault,
air,
yeah. Yeah, it's
he's
not his fault.
strong, but maybe he just isn't a new school right back for the top four. You know, you look at
Yeah.
maybe like other teams outside the top four, then maybe, but for Manchester United going forward, I'm sure they'll be looking at that position to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. And going forward, I just feel like Rangnick, like you said, it depends how he wants to play. I think we've seen how he wants to play. He kept Wan-Bissaka on the bench yesterday. I think we've seen where he wants to go. There's always time for Wan-Bissaka to, you know, maybe show him something in certain games. He might be the right guy to put in there. But for now, it
That's
does
what
look
I
like
mean.
that.
Maybe games where you know he's playing against Sterling or he's playing against Salah or Mane, and you know you need a better
Exactly.
defender in there. Or other games against Norwich, Brentford, you know Leeds, you might be like, you know what, I want someone who's better on the ball. So there's games that he will be needed definitely.
Yeah. Harry Maguire's settled down after the after playing so poorly for so long. The Albania stuff or Andorra, whoever he scored against,
Yeah.
shushing the first. That proved to me he was feeling the pressure. It proved to me he was feeling the pressure. But against Arsenal, he was decent, calm, collected, and again yesterday. His partnership with Lindelof or Varane, how do you see that? And do you think Harry Maguire is captain material for United? I know obviously what you said. You said when Roy Keane was sort of coming in, you rubbed you up the wrong way a little bit. You thought it was a little bit of bullying. How do you see Maguire at the club?
Listen, Maguire will be the first one to say that he hasn't played to the levels he did for England in the Euros for Manchester United this season. But he's a human being, he's not a robot. You're going to have bad games. The pressure of being Manchester United captain must be enormous. That's no little task there. And sometimes as a player, Flex, I've been there. You read Twitter, you're listening to social media, you see what ex players are saying about your game, and it can affect you. Just because he's Harry Maguire, people think that oh no, he should be man enough to not worry about what people say. Of course, it's going to affect you. So for me, when I sort of protected him and stood up for him, because I've been there. Yes, maybe should he have celebrated and done the shush after scoring against Andorra? Maybe not, but it shows the pressure's getting to him. The next game he had available, he put in a good performance. He scored a goal. It's something that's just natural in him. Since then now he's putting some good performances. He's starting to look like he was in the Euros, but still you don't hear praise for it. It's like people want certain players to do bad. It's like the media pick a player and then they're on him. Where's the how well done Harry Maguire, clean sheet against Crystal Palace, played with a cut to the head, well done, bravery. You won't hear that because they just want it to be negative stuff. So as a player, I've been there, and I feel like when players play well, let's give them plaudits as well. I'm not just looking for them to get sent off, give away fouls, score own goals. So I think Harry Maguire is a top defender. He was outstanding for England in the Euros, top defender, but he needs a top defender beside him. Lindelof is a top defender. Let's get Varane fit, get Varane for him. Like John Stones. John Stones is a top defender, but he's not better than Harry Maguire. He needs a Diaz next to him. He needs a Rodri in front of him. That's what Maguire needs. He needs help around him, but he's a top defender, of course he is.
I feel like I think what Harry Maguire did, I just think was bad timing because actually, remember it was the Watford game after the international break.
Yeah.
So and then he got sent off. Do you know what I mean? So it was like just the pressure got to him. My thing about Harry Maguire is I think he can be steady in the right system with the right defender next to him. We haven't been able to get Varane around him too much because he's had his injury problems. But I just feel like
to be at the level, he needs to look at videos of John Terry. That's what.
But I don't think he can, Gabs. That's what I mean.
Look at videos
I don't think he's anywhere near these guys. He's nowhere near these guys.
I played against John Terry loads of times. Didn't get past him once because I was quicker than him by a mile, but he was clever. He would hold you up and jockey until a Makalele or a Kante or SCN come out of nowhere to help on the double up for Ashley Cole to get back in. That's what Maguire needs to do. Don't be so rash sometimes. You're not going to win the ball high up on the field. Give yourself a bit of space. You're not the quickest of defenders. Hold the play up, jockey. Wait for Fred to come back in. Wait for Tellez or Luke Shaw to come back in. I think that's what he needs to do because he is a top defender, but maybe he's still learning, as well. It's all happened very quick for him, didn't it? With the move from Leicester, playing for England, captain of Manchester United. So if I was him, I'd be looking at videos of John Terry because for a defender that wasn't very quick, John Terry didn't get skinned by many.
That shows the levels. Exactly. That's what I think and again, no disrespect to Harry Maguire, but that's what I think he can't do in a million years in terms of play at that level. Like you said, he's not quick. I look at how he got the two yellow cards against Watford. Sarr gets he can't basically in one-on-one situations, he struggles. Like you said, he needs the help. He needs he ain't got that turn of pace, but positionally, he gets himself into positions where he's in big trouble. Do you know what I mean? And he doesn't have that turn of pace. Like you said, John Terry's a perfect example because he weren't quick, but the way he read the game, no one's getting any change out of him. You were one of the quickest players going at that time.
If Sarr was about to run the channel and John Terry's there, he's not going to be like throwing his hand up for offside. He's not going to be, getting tight to Salah, he's going to be already running in behind before the ball's played. So you're giving yourself 5, 6, 7, 8 extra yards on the striker and get there before him. And if he does go into his feet, he's expecting his defensive midfielder to come in and take him there. You know, you've got to be sensible and be clever when you haven't got pace as a centre half. And I think that's what Harry Maguire needs to do a bit more. Don't go toe to toe with players that are rapid. That's just, you know, like basic defending, is it, for anyone that's not quick?
Exactly. And that's why I just think maybe better coaching can help him, because like you said, he has
100%.
had some had some good performances, been steady. It would almost be better if like he wouldn't be the captain and could just focus on his own performances and just kind of be part of the squad. That's what I would like him to be. Like, I think him being almost the most important player, you're the captain of Man United. Do you know what I mean? A leader. I just don't see that in him. I think he'll be better just being I don't want to say regular player, but not having that responsibility and just fall back and concentrate on his game.
I think as well, you know, if you look at him this season, he's taken a lot of chances as well, you know, maybe a bit too casual. I feel like centre halves now these days want to be the casual, control with the outside of your boot, make passes that aren't really on, hard passes, you know, maybe he's just got to try to keep it simple. The next few games around now and over Christmas, don't take so many chances. You know, there's no harm when you're under pressure to kick it down the channel for Rashford or Sancho. There's no harm in that. You know, you look at Chelsea gifting West Ham a goal, Jorginho messing about at the back. I think these players now, because they want to play this tiki-taka football, forget that sometimes you're under pressure. We used to laugh about it. Hoof it. That was the word we used to laugh. Hoof. Sometimes don't be afraid. Because if I'm playing against Harry Maguire now, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to press him high because he's going to give me a chance. He's going to be casual. Try and play out from the back at any time, you know. And sometimes you've got to be clever, and clean sheet is the main thing. Yes, every team wants to play out from the back, but even my team Aston Villa against Man City, we're trying to play out from the back. I'm at the stadium, the fans are going crazy because
you can raise.
you're so close to giving away a ball. When you're going to get punished, it's going to be a goal.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, get rid of it and play after second balls, and then start playing your football.
Yeah. And Dill has a super chat. He says, nothing steady or improved about Maguire. He was a VAR check away from condemning United to a loss against Arsenal for another unnecessary action. I think a lot of the United view community, there's been a lot of frustration with Maguire recently. I think the best thing Maguire could do, you know, it's like in the fan base when you know a player hasn't been tearing up trees. They see him as because Maguire's been put on this pedestal by Solskjaer of, you know, the top dog at United, and it's like people just don't see that in his performances. So I think the best thing, new manager, like I said, that's a clean sheet in the first game. If we build on them clean sheets, like you said, it changes very, very quickly. And if he can go under the radar and not be in the news for, you know, bumping into Luke Shaw and someone ran through and scored, getting sent off or pulling people down.
Though, sometimes like these things happen like in stages. You know, you look at the few games where everything was going wrong for him. You know, it can happen like that. And it wouldn't surprise me now if he went through a spell of games where everyone's, you know, giving him praise. He looks composed. You know, he's not making any chances. He's being a leader at the back, last minute challenges to save goals. So I think Man United fans, I understand your frustration, but give him a chance because players feed off energy, positive energy at games. If you're giving negative energy at games, you're going to put the player under pressure. So
yeah,
I'd say like try and be positive and give him 3-4 more games and see what his performances are like.
To finish off on Man United, I mean, under Ralph Rangnick, can you see us sorting out fourth place now? Obviously, you've got Spurs knocking around, West Ham knocking around.
Let's not be silly here. Like your squad of players,
minimum requirement.
If you don't get fourth, like every single player deserves to get sacked. Like West Ham, good team, but West Ham, Spurs, Arsenal, whoever else is floating around there, have got not even half the squad that Manchester United have got. Ronaldo, Rashford, Sancho, Fernandes, that on its own is miles better than the teams that are around you for the top four. So he'll know that. The Manchester United players will know that. And Ronaldo ain't finishing in Europa League place. Not a chance. That guy isn't here for that. So if I was a betting man, I'll put everything I've got on Manchester United to finish fourth.
What have you made of pundits, sometimes people on social media, whoever it may be, sort of suggesting that Ronaldo was a bit of an issue for Man United. He doesn't press. etc., etc.
You know what? I think there's certain games, like for instance, look at the Chelsea game. The tactics worked perfectly. You didn't have to bring Ronaldo on when you brought him on. The tactics were perfect. Some games, you're playing against the top teams, Man City, Chelsea. You're going to need 11 players who can run around. That's where football is now. But forget about them. Put them top games aside. Other games, Ronaldo's got to play. He's a goal scorer. Look at the goal he scored against Spurs. You know how hard that technique is?
Yeah, proper.
Bro, I've tried that in training millions of times. I miss the ball every time. That is the next level of goal to get in the corner as well. So I feel that there's certain games, and this new manager, he will make changes. And under Sarri at Juventus, Ronaldo was brought off in games. You know, he wasn't happy, but you know, he can't be Mr. United. They have to play every minute, every game. You know, the manager should decide. We're playing this team. You know what, Ronaldo, you're not going to play. But we're playing this next team. It's a bit of an easier game. You're going to play in this one. I think it's just different games because some teams, not playing against Liverpool, you're going to need 11 players that are going to be able to run around because these teams, you know, that they don't mess around.
Yeah, no, they don't. And I just feel like it's a blessing to have Ronaldo. I think the best managers will adapt the team, whether it's by dropping him for the odd game or by facilitating him by other players having to, you know what I mean?
There's ways that you don't have to press as well. Like Ronaldo will say to him, you know what, Ronaldo, you're playing Liverpool, you sit on Henderson or Fabinho.
Exactly.
That's one player. Forget about Van Dijk and Matip. You sit on one defensive midfielder. You don't even have to like sprint around. Just keep around him because that'll put off the defenders giving Fabinho.
Block the passing lanes,
Yeah,
essentially.
that's it. Like, you don't have to like because look at his age, bro. 36, 37. You're not going to be able to press. Like,
and he's never done it. He's never done it in his whole career.
So managers, like you say, will find a way. And I think people are just jumping on the bandwagon a bit about like Ronaldo, you know, pressing shouldn't be playing. He's a bad signing. This is nonsense. Without Ronaldo, Man United would be probably relegation zone. And,
and we definitely would be in Europa League.
Like, come on, Ronaldo's a joke. Like, give him the service and he'll score goals. Simple.
Facts. Nathan says, Gabby, can you see Pogba fitting into this team?
It's a tough question, isn't it? I love Paul Pogba. I love him. I love the way he plays. But I just feel that for both the club and him, I just feel that it'd be better if he goes. For him, I feel that like going to Real Madrid or something or PSG, a new challenge for himself, he'll get more at. You know, he'll enjoy that more. And I think it might be something that in January or in the summer that him and the club both agree. You know, it's the best place because in that team at the moment, where do you fit him in? Because Fernandes, you've got McTominay and Fred, you've got who managers like to play in them two sitting roles. So Sancho, Rashford, Ronaldo. Me personally, I find the position for Pogba. He started the season off, the assist that he's got. He's an outstanding player, but I just feel that, you know, at the moment, if I was Manchester United and him, I'd be looking to part ways.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. It's like there's always something with Pogba, whether it's you need this player next to him to unlock him, whether Man United just haven't been consistent, the manager's been changing. There's always something going on, and I agree.
Honest, a 4-2-3-1 with Pogba as a number 10 will be perfect.
Yeah, but because Bruno plays there, he never gets a chance to play there.
Bruno wasn't at the club. Pogba will be getting numbers because when Bruno's there, it's like you can't really fit both in. It's very hard. Yeah. Unless you're playing no disrespect to Watford or you're playing a Brentford or a team in the bottom half, then you can play one DM and then Pogba and Fernandes in front, and that would work for me.
Yeah. You know, Sufan says I can see Pogba playing where Bruno or Sancho played yesterday, like an inside 10.
Yeah, he could do it, but is Paul Pogba going to play every game? Is Paul Pogba going to want to be at Manchester United to play 1 in 2 games? No, these players want to play every game. Sancho, Fernandes want to play every game. So I just feel that going forward, and you look at this January or in the summer, I just can't see Pogba renewing his contract. I feel that he want a new challenge. At his age as well, is a good age to go and get a new challenge for himself.
This is what I like about the United View community. Kashina says, Flex, with all due respect, I highly disagree. Ronaldo has to play against the top teams. Ronaldo is the fittest player in the world. He can defo press. Look, yesterday, Ralph Rangnick said, he's in good condition. And he said, he worked hard yesterday. And I saw it with my own eyes. He did work hard. And with the right system, I don't think Gabby's saying, and I'm saying, he has to be out of every big game. Because like Gabby gave a good example there. Against Liverpool, you say, maybe have this role and let everyone else run around you.
You
So
have
that's
to
what the
look at
top
the
managers can
Chelsea
do.
game and look at, without Ronaldo, it worked. There were perfect tactics from Carrick. You had two wingers and a false nine of Fernandez, and it worked. Two wingers on the counter attack, it worked. So as much as Man United fans, everyone in football loved Ronaldo, some games, different tactics are going to work better for the team. Just because it's a big game and Ronaldo is that guy who scores in big moments and big games, there's going to be tactics where you need them to Ronaldo to not be on the pitch.
Yeah, and Kashina also says you press as a team, not as an individual, which obviously is massively important. I think some of the problems we have had at United is pressing as individuals. We had Bruno running around before just by
100%.
himself trying to press.
I hated pressing. Like some managers come in and it was press training in games. And I used to think to myself, like, listen, you press, man. Like, I'm here to score goals and make runs in behind and do stuff in the attacking. Do you know what I mean, bro? When you get the ball.
So what about attack? So when it's the saying a defend from the front and the manager saying, Cabs, I need you to
You do
go
it.
and press
You
it.
do it.
But you didn't
You do
enjoy
it.
it.
I didn't enjoy it though, because I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm hunting down defenders, and then like when we win the ball back, we're the main guys who have got to use our Relegation end to go and score a goal. So everyone's pressing, but when you win the ball back, the strikers are the ones that have got to make them runs into the channels. It's a lot, for a strikers. Strikers aren't really brought up and coached from young to do that. Does that make sense? We were like
Yeah,
sort of the ones that like, yeah, you just get the ball back for us, lads, and then get us the ball, we'll score. But obviously, more and more now it's coming into the game where everyone's got to press, which I understand. Football's changed, but when someone's 36, do you want them pressing and using all their energy and not being as energetic going forward where they're the most danger? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's about getting the right balance.
Yeah, I agree. Kashina says, yes, against Chelsea it worked, but that was Carrick's tactics. And Smith Jones says, 4-2-2-2, swap Bruno with Rashford and put Pogba where Bruno was rather than Bruno far away from the midfield. And just quickly, Lasega says, is this a Man United show or a Premier League show? Bear with me, you're right. We spent 28 minutes talking about Man United. Sorry, that's the bias. Sorry, that is the Man United bias. So speaking of other teams, let's talk about your team, Aston Villa. Gerrard, what's he got? 3 wins now. Obviously, tough loss against City, but that happens. It's City. How are you seeing them? How good's Gerrard going to be for you lot?
The big thing for me with Gerrard, and I was so happy when he got appointed because I played against Gerrard, I played with Gerrard, but Gerrard has had that scouse, just like presence about him. Like you don't mess with Gerrard on the pitch. Look how his career at Liverpool, the goals, some of the goals he scored, and when you watch videos of Gerrard, the passion he's showing on the pitch, I knew he'd bring that to a manager. He'd done it at Rangers, so for me, it was so exciting to get him at Aston Villa, and you can see the way the team are playing is a reflection of Gerrard as a player. Tackles flying in. The last few games I've been watching, players like smashing other players like Gerrard used to, exactly like he used to. No nonsense. Organised the team is. He making changes at the right time. Previous managers used to wait to the 70th minute for a change. Gerrard's making changes when needed. The team look like they're playing for him. And when you've got him as a manager, the respect that you're going to get from the players is he's been there and done it. You're gonna listen to Gerrard. Every little detail he tells you because he's done it. He's got that aura about him, and the results have been outstanding. I went to the Man City game. Yeah, Man City were great, but Villa stuck in there, battled, and really should have got a point out the game.
It was frantic. Yeah, it was frantic.
So I just think like he's gonna have that never die attitude with his players, and it's exciting times because he's a winner. He's not gonna want to just finish 10th or 11th every season. He's going to want to
Mm.
take it as far as he can into the Europa League if he can, or try and win a trophy. So
I thought it
it's
was perfect. I
it's
thought it's
exciting
perfect for him.
times for Aston Villa, and we're just happy to have him.
Yeah, I think you know, that Villa job becoming available at that point of his
Perfect.
managerial career, never going to get a club as big as Villa, club as big as a fan base, and also a Villa squad that, let's face it, has been built really well. I think obviously Jack had to leave,
Yeah.
but you know, with that money, I think they bought really well. It's quite a balanced squad. I look at it. Yeah, you're going to need a few bits here or there. I'm sure he's going to want to put his own imprint on stuff, but I look at a lot of your players and I'm like, I like it. I like the balance of what
You
they've
know,
done.
there's
So it's
more things. If you've
perfect for
got
him.
a man like Steven Gerrard, I can just tell by watching him and hearing from players the last few weeks is that if you're not doing what you need to do, you're scared. I feel like you should be scared of your manager. Like if you're not tracking back, you don't follow your runner, you're going to be scared to get in that changing room. Like he's a no nonsense guy. You can tell anyone who's watched the Premier League in the last 15, 20 years. Gerrard's that guy. Solskjaer wasn't that guy. Lampard, good manager. I can't see Lampard going in on players. But Gerrard looks
No,
like he's got the right temperament to go in on you, but then to put his arm around you when needed. So he looks like a good man manager, and he's going to have no nonsense. If you're not tracking your runner and being lazy, you're getting hooked and you're
he'll have
getting
you out.
hammered.
Yeah.
So that's how the team are playing at the moment. Watching them, everyone's leaving everything on the pitch. Honestly, every game's been like a cup final. The way they've been playing.
He's brought that intensity. Obviously Villa Park's rocking, and you know, I think against the game against Brighton, you know, they had a couple of chances, Brighton, but you hung in there and you got the goals kind of late on. Watkins is going to thrive under him. I think he's good. Um, who else? I think Leon Bailey as well. You know, someone like Gerrard around him,
Yeah,
he's gonna start getting him playing. So he's got a mixture of some young players there, a couple of experienced players
Ashley
there.
Young's been outstanding. Like
Ashley
filling in
Young,
the floor, like
crazy,
yeah,
crazy.
but
You know,
Gerrard will as well. He'll respect his opponents. Every game he's changing, tweaking the formation. Against Liverpool on Saturday, he'll tweak it again. He might even go five. He might try
mm,
and frustrate them like Wolves did. You know, he'll have a way of playing against Liverpool to try and nick something out of that game, which is showing that he has got that tactical knowledge. You know, and he's not going to just play 4-3-3 every game. You know, he's going to tweak it and change the personnel. So I'm buzzing with it, and I'm hoping that it can continue.
just quickly, KG, the comedian, he says, "Big up, Gabby on the ting." He's happy to see you here. And one of my good pals that I used to work with, he won't forgive me. He's a big Villa fan, so I did say to him that I'd have you on
Yeah.
today. He sent me a whole list of questions. I'm not going to do that. So Mela, if you're watching, I couldn't get through all of them, bro. But I'll just pick one. He said, "Let me go with how did it feel to score in front of the whole end and hear them sing your name?" That's one of the questions. I'll go with that one.
I think like even before you scored at the whole end, you know that they will sing your name and different players' names during the game, and even without scoring. When you used to make a run into the channel, you know, get past the player and maybe get tackled, you'd hear the whole end singing your name, and that will give you more, you know, enthusiasm, more power to go and um you know, perform again, go and do something else when you know the fans are on your side. But when you scored, it was mad, honestly, because you score and then they'd be chanting your name for like 2 minutes after you scored when you're walking back to the centre circle. And I'll still say to today, no better feeling in football for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, when you go Villa Park, that just honestly, when
Rocking,
it's on
bro,
form,
rocking. It's
hundred
rocking.
percent, it's a fact. And Villa Park under the lights as well. I don't think there's a lot of
I
atmospheres up
went
there.
to a game, the Man City game, and honestly, every decision that Mike Dean didn't give us, honestly, I was close to running on the pitch.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
I don't feel like I should go to games anymore because I feel like I'm going to run on the pitch one day and absolutely smash the referee because I'm watching from from a fan point of view in the stand, and honestly, your frustration at decisions that are not going your way when it's a blatant foul and they don't book the player. So I think I'm going to stay away for a while and then calm my temper.
Yeah, I do love how you're unapologetically Villa, no matter what. Straight up bias. Any commentary, punditry you're doing, straight up Villa
Come on.
settings. That is it, man. 100%. Let's talk about West Ham Chelsea. Let's get on to them. Chelsea, first loss of the season. showing that obviously they're not invincible. West Ham, I know you said, if Man United don't get fourth, all the players should be sacked. But how serious do we have to take West Ham?
100%, bro. Because the thing about getting to the top four is that, like, you don't have to. West Ham don't have to beat Liverpool. They don't have to beat the teams in the top three. They can beat the other teams, and then that'll be enough points to get top four. That's where Man United have to be careful that, like West Ham are going to be there and thereabouts. You know who West Ham remind me of? They remind me of the Villa team I played under Martin O'Neill, and we finished sixth 3 seasons in a row, but we were fighting for top four. The team was the same every week. You knew who the 11 were going to be. You knew who the subs were going to be. That reminds me of West Ham. Organised. Don't need too much tactical knowledge from the manager. They're organised. Yes, they play a different formation against Chelsea, but most of the time, it's Benrahma, Bowen, Antonio, Souček, Rice, Cresswell, Kufel. You know what the West Ham team's going to be when everyone's fit, and they're going to push you all the way. And they've got investment now from the owner. The Czech owner has come in, so they might even buy some players in January. So you need to definitely, be weary of West Ham. I think they're the ones above Spurs and Arsenal that are going to push you to the end. But with your quality, you need to be getting top four. Definitely.
Absolutely. I don't see exactly if we play to our max and they play to their max. Yeah, I think there shouldn't be a reason why. But yeah,
winning the game against Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
that could be one you look back at and say, that's what got us to the top four by 2 points. You can't afford to drop points. There's over Christmas, you can't drop points, Man United, because these teams, Spurs are hunting you down as well.
Yeah, ready for any little opening. Yeah,
they're hunting you down. So you need to just be on your game and just look at the Italian league. Juventus are in fifth. If you take it for granted, you're not guaranteed to finish in the top four.
Yeah, exactly. KG just made himself a moderator on my own channel. I can't believe he's done that. He's a mad guy. This guy, he's just honestly, I'm just gonna have to change the passwords after this. But yeah, I like what West Ham are doing. It's good to see David Moyes rebuild his reputation, because it took a battering after the Man United situation. He went Real Sociedad, didn't work out. Went back to West Ham, didn't work out. Do you know what I mean? He has struggled to kind of get back.
Sometimes you've got a good team, they go and play and get results. Sometimes I think we're too deep in manager's tactics. What has he done here? David Moyes probably saying to his team, okay, the team. I have to say the team. It's Bowen, Benrahma, Antonio. Formal, Souček, and Rice. Go and play your game. You know how to play. Declan Rice, when you got to sit back a bit and not make them run. When you can make that third man running. Sometimes, it was like us under Villa, like Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill wasn't a tactician or give us this crazy advice. We were all good players and knew how to play the game and go and play. This is what I didn't understand about Man United under Ollie. Yes, Ollie might not have been a great coach, but you're still great players. Go and play the game. So the players were definitely to blame as well. Don't just leave it to the manager.
Yeah, definitely. I think the players literally, I think it got so bad that it looked like they're down tools as well. And we're unbeaten since Ollie's gone, even under Carrick. Those 3 games.
Exactly.
It weren't perfect, and we rode our luck. But what you did see was just all people just applying themselves and concentrating, just the basics of being a footballer. Kushina says Gabby was my top goal scorer in FIFA 14, legend. Yeah, he had about 90 something pace as well. I don't know how.
Scary, wasn't it, on that game?
Yeah, he was fast. Let's talk about City real quick. I hate doing it. I hate just how good they are. I hate just that, it's scary.
Bro, it's scary. It's scary.
Are they going to run away with it now? Now they're at the top?
I don't think so, because Chelsea, they've had a couple tricky results, but Chelsea will be back. Don't worry. Liverpool, they'll be there as well. But what Man City are doing that no team in the world's doing at the moment is the football they're playing as well. Bro, it's like playing one of your mates who's sick at FIFA and he's just peppering you pass. I'm watching it and I'm like, Grealish, Foden, Sterling, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, all playing as strikers, playing as 3 roles, can go where they like. Against Watford, Kyle Walker and Cancelo didn't even get forward. They didn't need to.
No.
It was we're going to take a breather. You don't need us. Go and do your thing. If you need us, let us know, bro. They're a joke.
We'll
Diaz
just
at
chill
the
back
back,
here.
like Diaz and Ederson just chilling. Honestly, the way they play football is a joke, bro. A style of play. You haven't seen that in Manchester United. Man City have got a style of play. Pass, 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 pass. Lose the ball. Go and get it back. Foden was lost the ball against Watford. He's sprinting back and regaining the ball. No one's a big time Charlie where they can just give the ball away and hang around for it to come back. This is what I love about Manchester City. And honestly, I've not seen a team play football like them since the Barcelona Pep days. It's a joke. And once they get all their players back as well, I can only go for Man City for the league, to be honest.
It's tough. It's tough. I do feel like they're just so good. And whilst Pep's still there, I just don't know how we win anything substantial. It's just too difficult. And Klopp, you know.
Impossible. Because you've got a good team, but Man City have got a great team, and they've got a way of playing, organised, know exactly where they need to be, like robots on the pitch. I spoke to Fabian Delph about it. He says, Gabby, if you move out of your position, you're getting hooked. If he's told you where to be, and you've not done it, you've not gotten in the back post when you're meant to, then you're getting hooked and getting hammered at half time. Could you see Solskjaer doing that?
No
That's
chance.
what
He's
you're
got his
gonna do, bro.
favourites. No
Man United
chance.
need a manager who's going to be like on the players to have a way of playing and winning games.
And look what Delph and look what Fabian Delph done under Pep that season when he was left back.
Exactly.
You know, unbelievable. Won the league.
Right? Yeah, won the league, but like he said, like training was shape, and players hated shape. Let me tell you, you just want to play 60 sides in training and have some fun. Training was 11v11 shape. Stop. All right, then play. Stop. And players hated that, but that's what Pep does. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you couldn't pitch that happening, could you? He
Not
probably
at all.
didn't even know how the team were meant to play.
It's vibes FC, man. Smiles and hugs, and go and try hard. Remember, you're playing for Man United. That's all it was. That's
exactly.
it.
And give Pep Man United's squad, he'd have them playing like Man City. Let's not be fooled.
Yeah.
He'd have them playing exactly like Man City are now. Pep come to Man United because the quality is there.
Yeah. Andrew C, just quickly take it back to Villa though. Well, it's kind of on Man City actually. Flex, this will be a hard question for Gabs. Jack Grealish, discuss 100 million, has not had the best starts. Do you say he isn't even in City's best 11 at the moment? I know your boy Jack, obviously, you love him to pieces. Villa legend. How do you assess how he's got on so far?
I think going for that amount of money is a lot of money, and that's not his fault. Quality player, release clause in his contract, and Man City met the release clause. The difference about playing at Villa and Man City is that at Villa, Jack would go and get the ball off the keeper if he wanted to. He'd go to the right, he'd go into midfield. Under Pep, he's had to change his game where he has to stay on the left if that's his position. If it's a false nine, he has to stay there. So he's still be adapting to that. He's had niggles, he's had injuries, but listen, he's a quality player. Once he gets up to speed with how Pep wants him to play, up to speed without getting his niggles out the way, he's a quality player. Honestly, he's the best player, honestly, I played with. And that's not me being biased. He's unbelievable. And that's not, if you look at the Euros, every England game I went to, the crowd were crying out for him to come on, crying out for him to start. And he's a great player. And once he gets up to speed with how Pep wants him to play, you'll see he'll be scoring every week. He's a quality player.
I know this might be difficult for you to answer because I've said obviously you love Jack and he's a fantastic player. Should he have gone there? Like, I know he spoke about United were in for him, but it kind of faded the year before. And that might have looked different if he would come to United. We've got Rashford, Sancho, etc., etc. But with City, with so many of them types of players who are fantastic on the ball, you know what I mean, well drilled, got the X factor. You look at what Bernardo Silva's doing. You look at Mahrez. You look at Sterling. Top draw players. Do you reckon it was still the right decision for him to go there, or is it too early to say that it wasn't the right decision to go there? And after, where else would he have gone?
Yeah, I think like when a club like Man City wants you, a chance to work with Pep Guardiola, like you got no choice. You'd be a fool to say no. It's one of your lifetime regrets when you retire to say no. The chance to play with these players, and the only difference for me is that At Villa, Jack will get the ball on and take 3-4 players on. He
Mm,
doesn't look like he's allowed to be as free as Manchester City. Pep likes the ball to move, doesn't he? He likes to
yeah,
get passes, get the ball, do the talking. So it's different. He's playing with like 11 superstars at Man City, where you've got to pass the ball. You can't hold on to it as much as you'd want to.
exactly. It's actually not Jack's game.
Yeah, at Villa, he enjoyed getting the ball, taking players on, winning fouls. But Man City probably don't want the fouls now. They'd rather the ball kept moving. So he's going to be adjusting to that. He's going to be adjusting to it, and it's a total different game he's got to play now. But
Mm.
he will adjust to it. He will listen to Pepe, want him to play, and he could have had 4 or 5 goals against Watford. He know himself. He should have scored in that game. So he'll clean up on his finishing, and he will score goals. Of course he will, because even the stuff Bernardo Silva's doing, Jack can do that. He's shown in his career so far he can do that. He can get the ball and drive through the middle and make the right passes and do 1-2s. I just think as Englishmen, we're quick to sort of like turn against our players. Like Sancho, it's about, he's not playing in the league, give him time. It's a big move for Jack, playing with these superstars. New manager, let's give him time. It's only December.
Kashina says City will now get Haaland. Now that Dortmund didn't qualify for
Yeah,
Champions League, I don't want
yeah.
them to get him.
I think you
Oh
will.
gosh, yeah, I can see that happening definitely in the summer. Keegan says it's a champion. It's a champ. They don't need him. Jesus, it's the Champions League an open race. Can anyone win it?
Yeah, I think I can. I think Man City, for me, I feel like it just, after what happened last season, the way they didn't turn up against Chelsea in the final, they're going to be hunting down teams this year, and I feel like this will be Man City's year. I think Bayern Munich still looks strong. Apart from Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and Man City, Liverpool as well. 100% think that it will be an English team that win the Champions League.
The league looks so strong right now, isn't it? I mean, last season showed us that. You look at football on the continent, and they're just struggling. Obviously, Barcelona going through a big transition, Real Madrid transitioning. Atletico Madrid not quite there. It's crazy.
Yeah, I
It
think
is.
Bayern Munich will be up there. I think PSG, I think they're a bunch of bluffers. They are like they've got no chance. Like
Yeah.
when teams put it on their toes, like Man City did, they didn't want it. I feel like Chelsea will beat PSG. I feel like Liverpool will beat PSG over 2 games. So I
Yeah.
think it's out of Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, and maybe Bayern Munich.
Daniel says, Gabby, we battled in a club back in the day. Legend. Must be. I don't know what you've been. I don't know. You must have been out on a night out or something. Ralph is putting his rep on the line. I believe in him. He didn't need to do this job. Yeah, look, coming to Man United though, he said in the press conference he didn't want to turn it down. Gav, I just want to go through the quick bunch of fixtures. Just really quickly, the bunch of fixtures coming up. Everton, Arsenal tonight. Quickly, what have you made of Arsenal, and are Everton in serious trouble?
Everton are in big trouble. Like Arsenal, for me, have improved. Arsenal know where their level is. They've proved that in the games they play. They struggled against Liverpool. Man United, they're okay. But Arsenal are not fighting for top 4. Arsenal are fighting for top 6. And they know where they're at the moment. They need a lot of investment. And they're doing better under Arteta. But Everton, Calvert-Lewin being injured has hit them massively. Townsend and Gray started the season off well. But I feel like Everton are in big trouble. And Arteta, against the club he used to play for, will be dying for 3 points tonight. And I feel like Arsenal will win the game.
You think they will? What have you made of Aubameyang being out of form? Do you think Arsenal need to drop him?
I used to love Arsenal back in the day. They were my second team after Villa. I look at Aubameyang. I'm looking at some of the chances he's getting. And I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Thierry Henry. And Thierry Henry scores them chances. He's cutting in and like side-footing his right foot with no power, Aubameyang. And I'm looking at them chances and I'm like, £300,000 a week Arsenal are paying this guy. Like, he's a captain. Then he deserves to be dropped. Like, I love him when he's on form, but you can't be on form 1 in 2 games when you're earning that money and you're captain of Arsenal. Arsenal fans are demanding it themselves now. They're starting to turn on him a bit. It's not enough. So if I'm Arsenal now, I'm thinking like, come January next summer, Arsenal need to get another striker in. Calvert-Lewin I'll go for if I was them.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, actually. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
He's okay, isn't he? But he's 1 in 2, 1 good game, 1 average game. I feel like
Yeah.
Arsenal, they want to get into the top 4. They need another striker who's hungry.
Well, there was
Aubameyang,
some talk about Tammy
Aubameyang's
Abraham
hungry.
before he went to Roma. There was talk about Tammy Abraham going there, which probably could have worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Calvert-Lewin I think would be good. I mean, do you think managers obviously always take the flak for a lot of stuff? Do you think Benitez could be in big trouble soon if he loses against Arsenal?
Listen, when Benitez come in at the start of the season, I was working with Talksport, and I said I'm not happy with it. As a Villa man, when a Blues manager come in, McLeish, I was fuming.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
if I'm an Everton player, like Coleman, who's been there, Duncan Ferguson in the coaching staff, Everton fan, I'm thinking, I'm not happy about this. But you know what? If he gets us into the top 6 and wins a trophy, I'll have him. I'll forgive him. But you can't be where Everton are and expect the fans to not be going absolutely crazy. If they lose against Arsenal, it might come to the stage where Everton fans are thinking to themselves, like, do we have to protest here at games? Because Benitez has come there because it's easy for him. His family live in the city. What club does it make sense to come back to? I don't understand how you can have that reputation and that amount of games as Liverpool manager and then get the Everton job. I just think football's gone crazy to me and totally changed, because if I'm an Everton fan now, I'm thinking, is he undercover detective for Liverpool? That's all I'll be thinking. Like
Has
is
he
he
come
going to
in to
try to see
sabotage us?
do you know what I mean? They're 5 points above the relegation zone, bro. Like, it's no joke down there. There's no guaranteed wins in football. Like, back in the day, it was like, yeah, you beat Derby, you beat Wigan. Yeah, I'm going to score. You're going to score. Yeah, you're going to score. Like, you have them discussions back in the day, but now it's like maybe Norwich. But apart from that, there's no guaranteed wins, bro.
No, there isn't. There is no easy
Oh,
games. And even obviously your guy Dean Smith at Norwich, yes, they did lose against Newcastle, but I suppose sorry, not Newcastle, they lost against Spurs. Yeah, lost against Spurs, but he got a little bit of a bounce in a couple of games.
it's not easy, bro. Like, and
It's
that's why
not.
Everton have got to be very careful. And Everton have spent millions of money, bro. Like they've spent a lot of money, and without Calvert Lewin, it looked like a total different team. They need Calvert Lewin, even if he's 50%
Yeah,
with one
just
car,
get him in. They
get him
need
out there,
something.
bro. Seriously, like they need some help because Rondon's not a Premier League player. I feel sorry for him. He's coming as a little backup, play a cup
Yeah,
game, come on in 20 minutes. He's having to start. He's not a Premier League player, so I think Benitez will be very worried with how this season's going to pan out.
yeah, I worry for him definitely. To finish off, are Newcastle going to stay up?
Newcastle they will stay up with the right investment in January. That's what they've got against the other 7, 8 teams in a relegation battle. Newcastle have got big pockets where they can go out and buy Lingard in January, they can go out and buy
Mm.
Tarkovsky, these players that are going to improve their team, and that will keep them up.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I think I worried for Eddie Howe when he got that job. I just don't know. I know he done okay at Bournemouth, kept them up a few seasons. Don't know, wasted a lot of money, big
But you know
club,
what it
big
is, though, bro?
expectations. Don't know.
If they can keep it how it is until January, if they can keep
Mm.
it like, you know what, there's 1 or 2 points in it,
Yeah, if they drop
no
off big
spin,
time.
bro. Their owners are going to be like, all right, Eddie, there's a checkbook. Help yourself. Go and buy who you
Yeah,
want. So they're going to bring in quality players that are going to keep them up. That Norwich aren't going to be able to do. Brentford won't be able to do. Leeds won't be able to do. Southampton down there, Watford. So Newcastle are just going to be hoping between now and January, the next 5, 6 games, they can keep that group of 6 or 7 teams on a similar amount of points.
yeah, they've got to stay around in and
Stay
around
around
that.
them. Yeah.
Wolves, Liverpool, last minute winner. Obviously keeps them firmly in the title race. Look, even if they would have got a draw, they would have been in the title race. But what do you think? What do you think that does for their momentum? Typical Liverpool, and it don't give up.
Yeah, but Liverpool deserved to win before that. They battered
Yeah,
Wolves, and sometimes you're going to get games where it's hard to break teams down. Like it's not easy when I've played against the big teams and we've nicked the result. We've sat behind the ball, 11 players, and made it difficult. You know, it's not easy sometimes, and Liverpool haven't got the players like Man City, the technical players, Bernardo Silva, Foden's. Yes, they've got Thiago that can break down defenses, but not as many as Man City can to break down 11 players. So it was always going to be difficult, and they showed their passion, they showed their resilience to get that last minute goal and not give up. You know, other teams probably would have given up when it was 85 minutes, like we're not going to score. Liverpool fought to the end, and it might be one of the games you look back at the end of the season, and that's why we won the title. You know, we got 3 points instead of 1 against Wolves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think there's anyone else to touch on. Actually, I think we're good. I think we're good. Tottenham, do you see them sneaking in the top 4?
Listen, they've got a game in hand against Burnley.
Yeah.
Nice little game in hand. I know it's away, which won't be easy, but when you've got a manager like Conte, look what he's done with Inter. I was watching Juventus all or nothing last week,
Yeah,
and they were
proper.
confident they're going to get 10 in a row. Conte comes, no, like Inter winning it. So he's going to have that winning mentality to want to play Champions League football. He's not going to accept Europa League. So I think he's going to be one that gets every last inch out of them players. But when you look at the two squads, there's no competition between them and Manchester United. So like I said earlier, Manchester United really should be finishing a lot more points above Spurs.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Gabs, big up for coming on, man. Proper appreciate it. It's so good to see ex-pros like come to this form of media. Like, do you know what I mean? You got traditional media on the radio and on TV and stuff like that, but to come on YouTube platforms with guys like myself, and I know you've done a lot of other stuff like this as well, is wicked, man. And it's refreshing. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
It's not enough that's done.
Enjoyed it. Make sure you keep subscribing as well.
Yeah, man, 100%. The community's growing. We're nearly 100K as well, so that is crazy in like 5 months. So yeah, big up. When we play at Villa Park, I think it's next year. We'll have to link up and do something.
Yeah, we'll come back
do a
again,
preview.
bro. We might be above. We might be above you by then. So we'll see.
That's not gonna happen in a million years. Do you know what I mean? But nah, listen, Gabs, it's been a pleasure, man. We'll speak again soon, yeah?
Cool, brother.
All right, big up, man.
Cool, man.